Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Happy Valentine's Day. Welcome to another live stream. If this is your first time catching one of these, I decided to start going live again here on YouTube. I haven't had a chance to really do any podcasting. I haven't had a chance to obviously do YouTube videos for a long time. So I felt like this was a good opportunity for me to get my creative juices flowing, make some stuff, come on here, say hello to everybody, share some information, and just generally ramble about the things that I do love, hiking, backpacking, gear, all that whatnot. Today is going to be the last one of these that I'm going to do solo. So for years, I did these live cast solo as you see them now, and then periodically I would bring in special guests. Well, going forward after today, I'm actually going to be launching a new series for anybody that tuned in to the last two episodes of what we lazily called Darwin Live, because we literally couldn't come up with any better name for it. We have decided to spin that off. Myself and my co-host that was on the last two episodes, named Emery. He's got a YouTube channel called Emery Buy Land. He's got an awesome website called Buy Land. He's got a podcast called the Buy Land Podcast. We're going to be spinning this off and launching a brand new live video podcast called The Side Trail. Hopefully that will be launching next week, if not the week after. I'll advertise some stuff here on YouTube. I feel like my head keeps running into that. But we will basically be doing that together. If you tuned in to the last two live cast, I felt like I got a lot of good feedback. People loved to watch me and Emery just kind of sit back and forth and talk about a topic, a certain topic, a hiking or backpacking topic. Last time, 2 weeks ago, we talked about backpacking versus through hiking. The episode before that, we talked about kind of the future of through hiking. Some would say the death of through hiking, where the whole through hiking culture is going. So we wanted to keep that conversation going and kind of start a new series. If any of you are familiar with my podcast I've been doing for years called the Outdoor Revolution Podcast, Emery has been a reoccurring co-host on that show. I love having conversations with Emery. So we felt like it was a perfect match to start doing that. So the Side Trail coming hopefully next week, if not the next after that. And that's going to be here on my YouTube channel. And we will probably be moving that into the evening. So instead of doing these kind of midweek during the day, it's probably going to be a little more towards the end of the week or the beginning and more in the evening, more of an evening show, and everybody's at home and relaxing and taking a load off. They can tune in to watch me and Emery pick apart things and banter about things and rant about things and all the things that people have come to know from my YouTube channel and my YouTube videos over the years, but also a lot of the stuff that Emery is currently working on. Emery does a lot of backpacking with his family. He has two kids, a wife. He does a lot of backpacking with his kids. He's a big time backpack hunter. So a totally different version of backpacking than what I've ever done. So we felt like it would be a really good show to have both of us kind of sit and have these in-depth conversations about some awesome topics that you guys want to hear. So if you're watching the rebroadcast of this, if you have some specific topics that you would love to see and hear on some future shows of the Side Trail, leave them down in the comments. Probably not in the live chat, because we probably won't check the live chat. But if you want to leave them on the actual video, in the video comments, that would be greatly appreciated. And then going forward, we can put some awesome shows together for you. Decided to kind of set the podcast set up the podcast setup today versus doing kind of the overhead mic. So this traditional podcast setup. How have you all been? How has everybody out there been? Good last week, good weekend. Hopefully you got out. Hopefully you did something fun, whether it was backpacking or maybe just a day hike or bike packing or whatever it is. I had a pretty lazy weekend. Last week I did a bunch of traveling, shooting a bunch of different film projects. I got something in my eye. Nothing ever goes right on this show. But coming up, I have a handful of backpacking trip plans along with a couple bikepacking trip plans that I'll share some information about today, because today I really want to tackle some new gear and some gear thoughts. So, since I kind of took a step back from YouTube and I stopped doing all the gear reviews and all of that stuff, I consistently still get questions and comments of people wanting me to weigh in and give my 2 cents on gear and certain trends in the hiking community and the industry, the outdoor industry. So I felt like today would be a really fun time to do what I'm calling hot takes, backpacking gear hot takes. Now, to a point, that's a little tongue-in-cheek. I'm not going to tell you that I hate something or, the thing that if you notice over the years, whenever I did gear reviews, I never tried to tell you about the things I didn't like. To a point, I think that's kind of a waste of time to talk about the things I don't like. I'd always rather share with you the things that I do like. But that being said, I felt like today would be a fun time to kind of poke fun at that, talk about some stuff that I've been testing out and trying lately over the past year, because even though I did take a big step back from YouTube, last year alone, I went and did some hiking in the Himalayas, hiked to Everest Base Camp. I went to completely ride across all of Great Britain from Land's End all the way up to John O'Groats on a big bike tour. I did some hiking in the Andes down in Ecuador last November, and I've done a lot of trips, whether it's in the Grand Canyon, on the Arizona Trail. So even though I don't do videos anymore that much, I'm still out there and I'm still putting in miles and I'm still testing gear and using new stuff as you do. Maybe not as much as I used to, but definitely, sorry, keep messing with this mic. Want to make sure that you guys got good audio. I'm still messing with stuff. I'm still playing with new gear, and there's been lots of stuff that have come out in the last couple years that it's like I've explained a ton of times in the past in videos. For the most part, whenever you're a long distance hiker like myself, you find what works for you and you just kind of stick to that, and it's what you use, and you don't really divert from that at all. You kind of stick to what you know, you use what works for you, and I don't really try to mess with that much new gear. It's the same reason I've been using the same sleeping pad for years, the same cook system for years, the same a lot of stuff. The same shoes. I just don't really dabble with a lot of new stuff anymore because I know what works for me. I know what I want to use. And I think that just kind of comes with time. As you put more miles in and you learn more about your gear setup and more about what your comfort levels are, what makes you happy on trail, you kind of stop trying new things because you're like, well, this sleeping pad, I know that I get good sleep on this sleeping pad. I know I do. So no matter if there's a new version that comes out or something that's super trendy and that everybody's using, you still tend to stick to the thing that you know is going to work in the field, which is very much what my view has been for the last handful of years. That being said, I do try new things from time to time, and on top of that, I do own a gear company. I do own and design and make my own gear. Evolved Supply Co. So backpacks and bikepacking bags and some other products that we have coming up. So I am still testing things and I am still playing with things because I like to know what's working, what other people are using, and kind of some other ideas to implement. So all that being said, today I felt like would be a good time to do what I call backpacking gear hot takes. So I'm going to give you a couple of my hot takes of some stuff I've tried out, some stuff I've switched to, some updates on some old gear videos or some old opinions that I had in the past on stuff. And then I'd also love to hear yours, hear your hot gear takes, what you think, and maybe I can bounce my opinion off of it. Today, I'm not going to be having a guest. Emery will not be on today's episode. Like I said, we will be starting that new series together, but he will not be on today's episode. So I'm going solo on this one. So I'm going to tap you guys for more questions and to bounce some more ideas off the audience. And then at the end, I figured I would open up the floor and do something that people have asked me to do for years. There's a very popular website called Reddit that typically does what's called an AMA, an Ask Me Anything. I've been asked to do those over the years, and because I did so many Q&As, at one time I was doing a Q&A every single Tuesday. Then I started doing them kind of monthly. Then I started doing these lives. I never really felt like I should do an AMA, but I'm sure there's tons of questions out there that people have for me, personal questions, not too personal, my involvement with certain pieces of gear, certain trails, stuff like that. So after we kind of do some of these hot gear takes, I figured that we would do a bit of an AMA Ask Me Anything. Save some of those for the end, though. I saw that a super chat came through from Nomad Skateboarding. Thanks, man. It says, I use your gear, 5 years straight skateboarding across the world. Sweet. Very cool. Poor, can't afford the Altiplex. I use the Lunar Solo. Recommendation for the best tent. I mean, you know, kind of talking about gear and talking about opinion and stuff like that. For me, what's been tried and true for me has been the Altiplex. I have been using that now since it relaunched at the end of 2019, beginning of 2020. I have both the full version that has the net and the bathtub and all of that, and I also have the pocket tarp version. So the one that's just the tarp and the tub. I've been using that a lot lately. I've been using that on a lot of bike packing trips. I just went on a backpacking trip down on the Arizona Trail about 2 hours south of here. I used it on that trip. And then next week, I'm going to be doing a 2-night backpacking trip in the Grand Canyon. I'm going to use that on that trip as well. So for me, the Altiplex is really kind of my go-to. It has been for now 3 years. And again, it's like what I just said. When you find something that works for you, you tend to stick to it. Yes, it is quite an expensive shelter. However, for me, you know, I've been using mine for 3 years straight. I did the entire Continental Divide on one. It's still the one that I'm using. So for me, it pays off in the long run for the amount of hiking and adventuring and yada, yada, yada that I do. So it really depends on your budget and what works for you. You know, at the end of the day, the best, that quote, the best, it really depends on the person. It's all subjective. Whatever is the best for you, if you're on a budget, then the best tent for you would be a tent that is affordable, right? That is budget friendly versus what the best thing for me is something I know that works and I know that I can get 3 years, 3,000 plus miles out of. That's the best for me. So, you know, a little 2 cents there of the best is always what's going to work for you. And I do want to give that disclaimer before I start getting into my hot takes on gear. It's all in fun. It's all just my opinion. Just because I don't like something or because I do like something or because I feel like it should be that way doesn't make it so. It's all subjective. But I thought it would be fun, right? I thought it would be fun just to kind of create a little controversy maybe in some gear. Especially because I haven't done it in so long. I mean, I still use all this stuff, but I haven't really sat down and talked about stuff like this in over a year here on YouTube. So let's see. Do we have any more I see some questions about the sun hoodie and some other stuff. Save those for here in a little bit, and I will go over those. I do have some stuff to give away today as well, like one of these sweet Evolve Supply Co. stickers. I got a handful of these today to give away to some people here in the audience. If you're watching this and it's the live cast, you can get yourself one of these fancy, nice, fun stickers. However, let's wait for a little bit, and then I'll tell you how you can grab one of these. All right, let's have a hot take, shall we? So, my hot take to kind of start out with is kind of a gear trend, something that's kind of taken over in the last 2 years, something that really kind of hit the market for ultralight hikers and people going on backpacking trips, and that is battery banks. For years, 13,000 plus miles of long distance hiking, I have been an Anchor guy. I've always used Anchor power banks. And again, it's going back to what I was talking about. They work for me. Anchor power banks just work. They always have. They've always held a charge. They've always charged my devices. Have I sometimes wished maybe they were a little smaller? Sure. Have I sometimes wished they were a little bit lighter? Sure. So the thing that has really hardcore taken just the outdoor electronic gear trail market by storm are these Nightcore NB 10,000 ultra light weight energy bricks. That's a lot to say, but it's literally what's on the package. So I picked up one of these. I was interested. A buddy of mine had one of these a couple of years ago. We did some hiking, and he was using one of these, and I was like, oh, that's kind of nice. Is that just like a 5,000? Is that a 5,000 power bank? And he's like, no, that's a 10,000. And at the time, I was using my little Anchor PowerCore PD charger that I've used on tons of different trails. Had tons of different versions of it. I had the non-PD version. Then I got the PD version. I've had the big ones. I've had the small ones. So finally, I got around to picking one of these up. Got around to picking one up because I'm like, you know what? It's lighter. It's a little thinner. I'm going to see what all the hype's about with one of these. Last year, I used this exclusively on all my trips. So this went with me to Fiji to power camera equipment. This went with me to Great Britain to do an 800-mile bike tour of the Great Britain Divide, going from Land's End up to John O'Groats. This was with me when I did my hike to Everest, going all the way from down low in the jungle all the way up to Everest Base Camp and back. This was with me on basically all of my flights. I fly a lot for work. I do a lot of film work for companies. So this was kind of my go-to, something I carried a lot. It went with me to Ecuador. It was in the jungle. It was in the Amazon. I rafted in the Amazon. This was what I took with me. I hiked through the Andes. This is what I took with me. Here's my hot take. I don't think this thing is that great. I don't honestly get why people love this power bank so much. And I'll get to what my beefs with this power bank are. Because I do have some very specific problems with this power bank over, again, the Anchor power cores are not power cores. This is the power core, right? No, the Anchor power core PDs that I've used for years. Is it lighter? Yeah. Is it a little slimmer? Sure. I think it's got about the same footprint as my small little 10,000 milliamp, where this is flat. The little Anchor power cores are kind of rounded. However, here's my two beefs. So this is the Generation 1. And before anybody says anything, I do have the Generation 2. They got me again. I was like, well, they made improvements. I'll try that out as well. So I did pick up the Gen 2. There's the box for it. I recently got it. Also not that impressed. So my two biggest beefs with this power bank are, number one, something they did fix on the Gen 2, and that was the stupid charging lights, where you didn't really know how much light or how much power you had left. So they basically made this one button, and it completely lights up, and it's really hard to tell how much juice you actually have in this battery. The old Anchor power cores had little individual lights, like four lights, right? And you knew that if all four lights were full, well, you had a full charge. And then when it was one light was down and you only had three, you had 3/4 of a charge left, and then down, and that's how it worked. Well, the first version had all of the lights here in the button. So whenever you hit it, it was really hard to tell exactly how much charge you still had. Well, they recently updated it. They came out with the Nightcore NB 10,000 Ultra Light Energy Brick Gen 2. Fancy, good wording. Where really the big change that they made to this, from what I can see, is that they made the where you plug in your ports, they made that highlighted in yellow, so I guess it's easier to see. I didn't really have a problem with the old one, but they did put the individual lights. They put the little individual lights, so I must not be the only person that had a problem with that. That's great. This thing would be awesome. It would knock it out of the park. But here is my beef, and here's my hot take on this charger. My biggest complaint about this charger is being somebody like myself that in the middle of the day when I'm hiking, I need to charge my phone. So a lot of people will charge their phone at night, but there are times whenever I might be using my app all day. I'm looking at Gut Hook, or what's now called Far Out. It shows you how far I am out of the whole the trend of through hiking. My battery starts to drain, and I want to charge it while I'm hiking. Well, one of the reasons that I usually keep a shoulder pocket on one side and not on the other side is because I like putting my phone in my shoulder pocket. I'm not a guy that uses water bottles in my shoulder pockets. I mainly just use my phone. I'll put my phone in there, maybe some chapstick, maybe a little bit of sunscreen, some quick access items. And then I also put my headphones in there. So a lot of times I'll actually take my phone and the charging port, I'll actually set that upside down. So I always put my charge, unless it's raining, and then I don't. See, I got a little charging cable here to kind of give you guys an example of what I'm talking about. Well, periodically, what I'll do is if I stop during the day and I know that I need a charge, I will take out my Power Core Nightcore Gen 2 NB 10,000, and I'll plug up my cord. I will put it in my back pocket. If you guys go watch a bunch of my trail videos, you'll see a lot that there's a cord hanging like right here. Like I'll actually run it through like where my load lifters go. Well, the reason for that is if I'm charging my phone for the day, I can plug that in just like that, and I can put that in my pocket, and then if I need my phone throughout the day, I can unplug it real quick. I can take my phone out. I can look at what I need to look at. Maybe I shoot a photo. Maybe I check something, an email, something important, and then I plug it back up, and then I keep hiking. I put it back in there and I keep hiking. Same thing on a bike. So whenever I did my bike tour of the Great Britain Divide, I would take my power bank, I would put it down into the side pocket of my frame bag really low. I would just run the cable out of a little hydration port that's on the front, and then I would keep my phone in my little gas tank bag right here in the front. So when I needed to charge it during the day, I would simply grab it, plug it up, and start charging it. But what I found with the NB 10,000 is after a while, the lights go out in it. And when the lights go out in it, you can plug your phone up and it will not start charging unless you press the button. And that was a big time problem for me. So with all of my anchors that I've ever had, if I just plugged it up, as soon as I plugged my phone up, it would the bank would recognize my phone and it would start charging it. These guys don't do that. Only after a while, you have to press, only after a while. After a while, you have to actually press the button to start getting it to charge again. So there were times on my entire hike of the Himalayas where I would have that in the back. I would take my phone off the charger to check it, and then I would plug it back up. Or I was on my bike all day. I noticed I had a bad charge. I was using an app or a GPX file, so it was draining a lot of battery so I could know where I'm going and I'm navigating. I would go to plug this up. I'd put it inside of my little gas tank, and then, I don't know, a few hours later, I would assume that it was charging all day. I would look at it, and because I didn't go and press the button again, it didn't start charging. Yeah, somebody just said that function is called plug and play. Right. So I thought that they would update that with this new NB Gen 2, NB 10,000 Gen 2, and it doesn't seem like it. I was kind of bummed out by that. So, hot take, I do not think this thing's that great. Also, again, for its weight, for its size, for its price, I am still a fan of the old Anker PowerCore PD. That has been my favorite charger. That is my favorite battery bank. It's never died on me. I've never had one just poop out on me. It has worked for thousands of miles on the trail. So my hot take is I just don't think these power banks are that great. Personally, I just don't think they're that awesome. Speaking of Nightcore, I'll give you another hot take. Again, for anybody that's tuning in, this is all just kind of tongue-in-cheek and fun, and it's just my opinion. I'm sure other people have had other experiences. You guys, I'm sure, know from my old videos that one of my all-time favorite headlamps is the Nightcore NU25. The NU25. For years, I used a headlamp called the Yuko Air. And then when this came out, I was like, oh, it's perfect. It's small. It's compact. It's adjustable. I can put a little shock cord in it. Make it ultra light, bro. And these things have been amazing. This is still my all-time favorite headlamp. 2021 on the Continental Divide Trail, I did a ton of night hiking. A ton. Mainly because I was southbound and going into like New Mexico in the fall. It was starting to get darker way earlier, putting in bigger miles, trying to get through those sections. So a lot of times I was night hiking, and this thing never failed me. It always had the right amount of charge that I needed. It always lit my way. It was always bright enough. The red light was amazing in my tent at night. It's rechargeable. It's adjustable. The only thing that I could have ever asked for on this headlamp was, instead of the old micro USB port that was in the bottom, that it would have been a USB-C, because a lot of my other things are USB-C. A lot of my electronics, my camera, I feel like I keep shrinking. My camera, obviously my battery bank, a lot of my other electronics were USB-C, so it's the only thing I could have ever asked for in this headlamp. Aside from that, this was a perfect headlamp for me. Well, recently, Nightcore decided to also upgrade this guy and come out with what they call the NU25 Ultralight. Or I guess they saw that everybody was making that modification with the shock cord, and they put a shock cord of their own on there. Well, when I saw that, and I saw that it was USB-C chargeable, and I saw that it was just a hair brighter, not much, but a hair brighter, well, I grabbed it. To my dismay, I just don't think it's as great as the original NU25. Yes, charging at USB-C is amazing. Yes, having the little light indicator that tells you how much charge you have left is great. I do wish that this had that. However, they made the headlamp much more bulky. Look how much more bulky it is. Like if you look at them side by side, can you see that from there? It's much bulkier. What I loved about this one is the little adjustment on it was always nice and firm, so I could just click it to whatever position I needed. This one is like real loose. I didn't really dig that. I think the shock cord is totally overkill. I mean, the shock cord is ridiculous. I mean, I just used a super cheap piece of shock cord. But it's just bulky. It's big. It's heavy. Not a big fan. Not a big fan. I wish that they would have just taken this, put a USB-C port in it, and called it a day. Again, that's coming from a person that has used this for thousands of miles on bike trips, on through hikes, on backpacking trips. And this has always been amazing. Somebody said my NU25 accidentally turns on once in a while in my pack. Aside from that, it's great. Do you use the locking mechanism? I always loved the locking mechanism on this. You know, you just simply held down both buttons and boom, you're on, right? Wow. Oh, I'm totally blind in the camera. And then if you want to lock it again, you just hold down both buttons and boom, it's locked. And I don't ever get mine to turn on. I did find that the locking mechanism and the button function with the new one, I didn't like as much. It seemed a little bit more cumbersome than what this was. This just had these two nice little easy buttons, red light, regular light, lock it, hold it to make it flash. Yeah. So another hot take on new gear, since I haven't talked about this stuff in a long time. I love the original NU25. I actually bought another one just to make sure when they stop making it, I will have another one. And as far as the new one goes, the NU25 Ultralight, not really that impressed. So I know a lot of people are really loving this and loving this. For me, I'm just not a big fan of either of them. I would rather have my old NU25, my Anchor Power Core 10,000 and call it a day or a trail or a bike trip or whatever. So there is my hot take. Do we have any questions or any comments about that stuff? Oh, there's a good comment. Do you like red or green enchilada sauce? I lived in New Mexico for 2.5 years, so I like it Christmas. Give me both. Duh. Let's see. Yeah, somebody already pointed out that function is called plug and play. Whenever you plug it in and it just starts charging, I can't get my stuff to do that with these NB 10,000s. It's just kind of annoying to me, you know, especially on the bike, because again, when I put this in my frame bag, it's down there. It's really low down there. And while you're riding a bike, I don't have time to unzip it and go digging around in my bag to just press the button. So not being able to just plug that in and let it start charging, it's kind of a pain for me. I think it does like on the first plug-in. Like if you plug it in once, it'll do it and it'll start charging. But if you unplug it from your phone and then plug it back in, that's when it doesn't start doing it. Now, if you took it out of the battery bank and plugged it in, it would start doing it. But again, if that's in my back pocket of my pack, or if that's in my frame bag, it's just a hindrance to me. It's just kind of a pain. So not a fan. Hot take number 1. All right. Let's see. Does anybody else? Somebody is talking about the Phoenix headlamps. I've never used any of those. Somebody's asking about the Ranger. When are you shipping the first order of Rangers? I see YouTubers getting them for reviews, but I was order 4 and still haven't heard anything. Yeah, so Rangers are shipping like today. Between today and tomorrow, they're on their way. So this week. They're shipping this week. For what they're asking about, the Ranger is the pack by my company, Evolve Supply Co. And yes, the first orders are shipping this week, along with a sweet new Evolve Supply Co. sticker that we just recently got in. And again, I'm going to be giving some of these away today on the live cast. So stick around if you want to get one of these. I'll send one to you. Throw one in an envelope. Send it to you. Postage totally on me. Metro said, are the Rangers sold out? They are not on the second run yet. So with the second run, we decided to kind of keep it open, and now it's just based off of lead time. So if you do want to check out that pack, if you want to get your order in on one, there's a link down below in the description box, or you can go to evolvesupplyco.com, get your order in for that. All the other good stuff, hats and soon to be stickers, and sign up for some other product releases that we're doing. But yes, Rangers are shipping. First Rangers are shipping. To the people that have actually been reviewing those were test packs. Those were some early pre-production packs, prototypes that we really wanted tested. We wanted people's opinions on them. So that is why you've seen a couple in the field. I think there are currently there are 3 in the field. 2 of the people that were testing the pack have recently put out a video review. My buddy Coyote recently put out a review of the Ranger, and the great Frozen from Outdoor Adventures recently put his first look and first opinions of the pack up. So that's probably what you're referring to. But yes, keep eating this. So popping things up on the screen is fun. All right. So people keep asking about the Evolve hoodies. The Evolve hoodies. I'll touch on it real quick, and we're going to get to the next hot gear take. You guys will like the next one. So the hoodies are coming super soon. I know I've been saying that for a long time, and all I can say is trying to produce a natural fabric. And you can dissect that how you want. A natural fabric sun hoodie in the US is super hard, especially when you're new, you're a new gear company, you're new with production and stuff like that. I've been trying very hard for 2 years to put out a sun hoodie, but I'm here to say, I can officially announce it is coming way sooner than you think. We will be announcing it over on the Instagram page very soon. No, it is not black. And I do have some final prototypes here, actually in this room. I can't show them to you yet, but it is coming very, very soon. So hold on. I promise it's coming. And then next week, we're going to announce an even bigger announcement for another piece of gear that we're going to be dropping. So if you're not following Evolve Supply Co. over on Instagram, or have signed up to our updates on the website, you should go do that, because we're going to be dropping some cool stuff. Again, there's a link down below under this video to the website, so check that out. All right. I'll answer some more questions about Evolved if you guys want me to a little bit later. Again, for everyone that's just joining, welcome. I'm giving some of my hot takes. It's all tongue-in-cheek. It's not serious. It's literally just my opinion on gear and on trends in the hiking community and through hiking community and backpacking community. So take it with a grain of salt, folks. All right. So let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, somebody said hot take on Ultra 100 and 200 fabrics. I do have a hot take on that. Maybe I'll get to that here in a little bit. All right. Here we go. So somebody said, watch a podcast on YouTube called The Side Trail, already about fishing. Are you affiliated with that podcast? No. Nope. We are not. Just a good idea to call it that. The Side Trail, coming hopefully next week. All right. My next hot take on a trend that I have seen for quite some time. And that is, where's my little hiking umbrellas? But not hiking umbrellas on trails like the CDT, on trails like the Pacific Crest Trail in the desert. So what you're seeing over here is what's called a solar umbrella. Now, I have used solar umbrellas in the past. I used one on the PCT. Wasn't a big fan after a while just because of the wind, and I kind of discarded them for a while. I stopped using hiking umbrellas because I thought, well, I'll just cover up. I'll get a sun hoodie. I'll get sun gloves. I'll wear a good amount of sunscreen, wear some good eye protection, cover my face if it's too bad. But in 2021, when I was on the CDT, I did pick up another one of these sun umbrellas. I picked one up because I was hiking through what's called the Great Basin or the Red Desert. Super exposed, very exposed. One of probably the most exposed areas I've ever hiked in. So I picked up a sun umbrella. I guess it could be called a sun umbrella for that section of trail. I didn't use it much. However, there were days that I was pretty happy that I had it. My hot take, however, the fact that I do not understand why all of a sudden it has become a thing to carry an umbrella on trails like the Appalachian Trail. And I just saw a comment over in the over here in the chat. I just don't get it. And the reason I don't get it is because the AT is called the Green Tunnel for a reason. It is a tunnel. There's a lot of times you're literally hiking in tunnels of rhododendron. You're constantly hiking and there's limbs and there's things protruding from bushes and different trees. And I have used a sun umbrella on sections of like the Arizona Trail and sections of the desert section of the Pacific Crest Trail, where there are very minimal amounts of trees and very minimal amounts of coverage, tunnelage, if you will. And it was completely an absolute pain in the ass whenever I was hiking and getting it caught on those branches, let alone hiking through what is called the Green Tunnel. I just don't understand the sun umbrella. I don't understand where that has become a thing. I've slowly watched that. A few years ago, I kind of saw some people were taking that in their gear list. Now I feel like I see tons of gear lists with an umbrella for the AT, mainly because of the rain, because it's wet. Again, I think that's kind of strange. I think it's strange because for me, hiking the AT and getting rained on is part of hiking the AT. Obviously, you can combat that with something like a rain jacket, rain pants, a rain kilt. Kilts became very famous the year that I was hiking in 15. But an umbrella? I just feel like the benefit doesn't really outweigh the aggravation. Sure, an umbrella will keep you drier for the most part. But if your umbrella is consistently hitting branches and knocking more water down and getting caught on stuff, and it's super windy on a lot of sections of the AT on certain ridges and up on balds, I feel like an umbrella would just be more of a complete pain than it would be a benefit. So that's a really weird one for me. A really, really, really weird one for me. I can't quite put my finger on. Again, sun umbrella. Good for big, long, exposed sections of trail where the sun's going to hit you a lot. Or here, I'll even give you this. If you're doing a trail where you're doing a lot of road walking and it's exposed and there's going to be a ton of rain, it makes sense to me. There's a very small section of the Pinhoti Trail that I did in 2018, beginning of 2018, where I went into a Dollar General and I bought an umbrella because it rained almost every day I was on the Pinhoti Trail. But I only used it on the road walk sections. There's a handful of road walk sections on the Pinhoti Trail, and because I was out in the open, there was no trees to kind of give me any type of shade coverage from the rain. I did pick up an umbrella. That being said, I might have used it one day because it became more cumbersome to do this all day. And I know that there's things to strap an umbrella to your pack. I used one on the Continental Divide Trail. However, I think it's silly. I honestly think it's silly to use something like a sun umbrella on a trail like the Appalachian Trail, where you're going through tunnels of trees, there's tons of branches, it can get caught on things, it's windy. My hot take is just get wet. You'll dry out. You will dry out. And if you're really worried about getting wet and you're worried about staying dry, the Appalachian Trail is probably not the trail for you. That's all I'm saying. So there is my hot take on the old hiking umbrella. Again, I'm not 100% for it whenever it comes to desert trails, where I absolutely think that it can be necessary to create shade and create coverage. But on a trail like the AT, it just doesn't make any sense. So again, this is all in good fun. This is all my opinion. Nobody take this to heart. Use what you want to use. Use what makes sense for you to use. Use what makes you happy and comfortable on the trail. If carrying something like an umbrella on the trail for 2,000 miles where it gets caught in trees and pulled back by the wind and you still get wet anyways, if that makes you happy and comfortable, well, put it in your gear list. Any thoughts on the umbrella? Any thoughts on that? Let's see. I think umbrellas as a walking tarp. I think of umbrellas as a walking tarp. All right. That's an interesting take. Here's Sid. My good friend Sid said, on the AT, your feet end up more wet than your top half. Umbrella ain't going to help that. No, it's not. Nick, Mr. Nick Page, what's up, brother? How are you, man? The very talented, hard public land defending, excellent photography eye, Nick Page has graced us with his presence. What's up, Nick, man? How are you? Been a while. Let's chat soon. I'd actually love to have you on our new show. We're going to be doing a new live podcast show here on my channel, hopefully starting next week. Called, let me pop up my graphic. The Side Trail, where we're going to have kind of not deep. We're going to have general conversations about hiking, backpacking, outdoors. We're going to have some guests come in from other gear companies, some tent designers, some backpack designers, some sleeping system designers. And we're going to have conversations. We're going to pick apart topics, a little more in-depth gear talk. So you should come on sometime. We should talk about creating and photography while adventuring and stuff like that. So that would be awesome. Got a super chat from Pagan. What's up, Pagan? Said, go hunting with Emery. Drank the blood from your first kill. Praise the power of the animal. Start removing I don't know what you're trying to say there. Lots of excellent video. That could be intense. I won't say no. I don't know about drinking blood, but I could get behind the other stuff. It'd be fun. Not really a hunting guy. I grew up in Indiana, southern Indiana, and I've never really been a hunting person. So that would be interesting for me, for sure. All right. Any other things on the umbrella, on the AT, on carrying an umbrella while you're hiking a trail where I don't think it's necessary? Again, Pagan, thanks for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Let's see. Somebody said, somebody keeps talking about a fishing show called the Side Trail. I didn't know that was a thing. That's really weird that a fishing show would be called Side Trail. When I think trail, I think hiking and backpacking, not fishing, but I'll check it out. Let's see. Anybody cares about that? Oh, don't be mean. Be nice in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. Be nice. Someone said umbrella for Arizona Trail, yes or no? I would say no. I didn't use one on my through hike of the Arizona Trail. I've hiked a lot of sections over the years of the Arizona Trail, big sections, big 100+ mile sections, smaller sections. I've never felt like I need a hiking umbrella. So, again, the only time I ever really felt like I'm glad that I had it was in the Great Basin on the Continental Divide Trail. So, I would say no for Arizona Trail, but again, do what makes you comfortable, do what makes you happy. I got to preface all this with that. Let's see. Somebody said, what material might the sun hoodie be? I've been looking for a merino sun hoodie. 100% polyester isn't working the best for me. I'll let you be the judge of that. I can't tell you yet. I can't release all the information about it because it is a co-brand with another company, a company that a lot of you know, and I cannot share that information yet, unfortunately. But I can tell you it is a natural fabric. It is one that you probably will be interested in, and it is not made out of 100% polyester. So I can tell you that. Again, stay tuned. Stay tuned. A lot of people talking about fishing. Right on. Let's see. Fellow Hoosier here. Thanks for the videos and info. Starting the AT next week. Sweet. Excellent. Blue Hat Hiker. Have a great hike. Have an excellent hike. Tell the AT I said hi. I'll see it in May. I'll be out at Trail Days, AT Trail Days. My gear company, Evolve Supply Co., will have a booth at Trail Days this year. I'll also be showing a documentary film at Trail Days this year. And my media company, Outdoor Revolution, will also be at Trail Days this year. So big day at Trail Days this year. Somebody said the sun hoodie is alpaca. I can tell you it's not alpaca. There you go. That's an easy one. All right. My next hot take, and for everyone that's just joining, hello, welcome to the live cast. Again, as I mentioned, this is going to be the last time that I do one of these solo shows. From here on out, I'm going to be having a co-host named Emery. He's got an awesome YouTube channel called Emery by Land. Excellent website and podcast called Byland. Check it out. If you're familiar with the Outdoor Revolution podcast, my other podcast, he's been the co-host on that podcast a lot, so he will be joining me on our new live video podcast that will be premiering here on YouTube very soon, over the next week. So, welcome. You know what, let's go ahead and do it. Recently, Evolve Supply Co. got some stickers made. So for everyone that had ordered a Ranger, we got some stickers made, some pretty great stickers. And since I got a massive pack of them right here, look at that big old pack of stickers, I figured I'd give some away today here on the podcast. Should I wait? Should I wait for this? You guys tell me, should I wait or should I do it now? Should I wait? Should I do it now? Do you guys want a sticker? Somebody asked, is the Ultiplex still the perfect tent? I think so. I talked about that at the top of the hour whenever we first started this. Someone said, I'm a sucker for stickers. Everybody's a sucker for stickers. All right. Stickers, woohoo stickers. Do it now. Damn, y'all want some stickers. So I'm gonna give away 10 of these. I'm gonna give away 10 of these super sweet stickers. I'll pay for postage. I'll get you an Evolve Supply Co. sticker in the mail. If you would like one of these Evolve Supply Co. stickers, what you can do is go over to evolvesupplyco.com. Wait a minute. Twink. evolvesupplyco.com and sign up for our mailing list. Sign up for our newsletter. And then after you sign up for our newsletter, and no, we don't spam anything. Honestly, all we use our newsletter for is to update people on when the sun hoodie's coming out, when another product, I was about to say it, is coming out, and our bike packing bag is coming out. It's all we use it for, to update it. Go sign up for our newsletter, and then leave a comment down below in this video, not over here in the chat, down below, and tell me that you sent it. I'll check it. I'll reach out, ask for your email address. I'll see that you're subscribed to the website, and then the first 10 people, I'll get you a sticker. So, boom. There you go. Good luck, everybody. I don't know. I did that totally on the cuff, totally on the fly. Probably not the most well thought out sticker giveaway. But go sign up for our newsletter. If you go to the website, it should be the first thing that pops up if you haven't signed up yet. So yeah, again, leave me a comment down below, not here in the chat, Don't leave it here in the chat. Leave it down below, and let me know that you filled out a newsletter. And the first 10 people to do that, I'll get a hold of you, and I will make sure that I get your email address. And then I'll send you an email, and I'll get your address, and I'll send you a sticker. That was way more complicated than it should have been. I see some people have hopped in. Noble Records. Dylan at Noble Records. Hey, buddy. How's it going? Dylan has got a great record store. If you're into records, if you're a music person, great record store in North Carolina, just outside of Charlotte. Fantastic. I've been there a handful of times. Also has an awesome YouTube channel. If you're into music, if you're into records, if you're into collecting, stuff like that, if it's something you're interested in getting into, I highly suggest checking it out. Hopefully I'll be on his podcast here soon. That's the plan. I see my buddy Juice has randomly popped in. What's up, Juice Man? How are you? Let's see. Howdy. Random Adventures 2.0. All right. Someone said live has to finish. Well, there you go. Sign up. And then I'll tell you what, the first 10 people that signed up, those are the people that I will send a sticker to. I'll just get your email. I can see who signed up today. So I don't know why I told you to leave a comment. That was dumb. My bad. It's going off the rails, folks. It's all going off the rails. I don't know. I might do more than 10. So we'll see. If you signed up over on the newsletter, I'll contact you. I'll get the last handful of people that signed up for a newsletter, and I'll send you a sticker. Sound good? I'll send you an email, get your address. What's up, Juice Man? All right. Another hot gear take. For everyone that's just joining, I'm giving some hot gear takes, some stuff that I don't 100% like in the outdoor industry and the gear industry. Somebody earlier said is a hot take, cold soaking. Yeah, cold soaking kind of sucks. I'm done. I'll never go back to cold soaking again. Nope. I'm done. It was awful. Too much cold couscous over the years to want to ever go back to cold soaking. All right. Yeah, as you can see, there's not really any production of this, folks. It's literally me just going live and randomly talking. But if you like that sort of thing, well, this is the show for you. Geared Up Adventures, my buddy, my good long traveling pals over in the chat. What's up, G? How's it going, bud? I was just telling folks not too long ago about our hike to Everest Base Camp last year and our ride across Great Britain. G is one of my closest friends and a long time adventuring partner. Good man, that G. I keep playing with this knife. All right. The next hot gear take is a handful of years ago. I made a video. I was doing this versus series for a while, and I did this video. I did one called Tent versus Hammocks. I think I did one called, ultralight packs versus traditional packs. But I did a video that has since become kind of like one of my most watched videos. People still leave comments on it today. People still ask what my opinions are today. And I do get questions about it quite a bit. And that would be this video. Down versus synthetic jackets. I had done a video where I was trying to compare, using down jackets on the trail, using synthetic jackets, being a long-time down person. The jacket that I used for years, and the one that I talk about in that video, and the one that's even in that thumbnail right there, is the Mount Hardwear Ghost Whisperer down jacket. At one time, that was the Cadillac of down jackets. It's the one that everybody used. It's the one that a lot of people still probably use. And then a jacket that I had really just been using for a year at that point, which is the other one in that thumbnail, the one that's closest to me, which is the Enlightened Equipment Torrid Apex jacket. I kind of compared them. I said, here's the positives of this type of jacket. Here's the positives of this, the negatives of this, the negatives of this. And throughout the years, I would kind of, throughout the years, I would kind of use both. Mainly, I kind of started using synthetic. That kind of became my go-to. But periodically, I would still use a jacket like the Ghost Whisperer, like a traditional down jacket, mainly because of how small it packed down, how small I could cram it into my pack, and because of the warmth to weight ratio, right? Well, my new hot take about jackets on the trail, jackets for backpacking and through hiking, is I think down jackets have become defunct, worthless, at least when it comes to doing long distance hiking, at least when it comes to doing multi-adventure backpack trips, multi-environment backpacking trips. Now, if you know that you're just going to be hiking in the desert all the time, super dry, not going to rain on you, I think that a down jacket's still a great choice. I think it's a great choice. However, today, 2023, no matter what trip I do, no matter if it's a bike packing trip, if it's a backpacking trip, a through hike, a day hike, if I'm hiking in the desert, if I'm hiking in a wet environment like on the Appalachian Trail, no matter where I'm going, I would never use a down jacket again, ever. What's funny is over the years, I had a lot of people leave comments on that video being like, well, I wouldn't use down because of animal cruelty, which is a great reason not to use down. That's not my reason. My reason is the simple fact that once down gets wet, it's essentially worthless. My problem always with a down jacket was when I was on a trail, and we'll take the Appalachian Trail, for instance, because I did the entire AT with a down jacket. I started the AT with one down jacket. I think it was like a Marmot Zeus or something. It was a real big, fat, puffy gray one. And then I finished with the Ghost Whisperer. That was the jacket that I ended up finishing with. As soon as I knew that it was going to start raining, as soon as I felt the first couple drops, instantly, and I know you guys have been there too, I stop, I take my pack off, I rip my jacket off, and I put it in my pack, simply because I know that if that jacket gets wet, and I get wet, and I get cold, when I get to camp, my last line of defense is getting something thermal on, getting a jacket on, and warming up my core, warming my body back up. So, for that simple fact that when you have a jacket that's synthetic, you don't have to worry about that. The beauty of a synthetic jacket, and I've been in tons of environments now, and I've hiked with tons of different down jackets and synthetic jackets, really mainly one synthetic jacket. I've gotten wet, I've gotten soaked, it's gotten damp, or it's gotten completely poured on, and it still keeps me warm. The beautiful thing is nowadays, with a lot of the synthetic materials and insulation that they're using, you can pack it down quite a bit. I mean, you really can get it in small crevices. It's kind of funny. I used to remember, I remember that I used to think that the reason I didn't like synthetic was because I couldn't pack it down small enough. I couldn't get it small enough, right? And for years, I would do stuff like I would take my jacket, and a lot of those jackets, the Ghost Whisperer is a good example. You can put it inside its own pocket, and it kind of becomes like, this big or something, right? So you can stash it in your pack. Well, over the years, I found myself that I don't do that. Number one is because if I need to throw my jacket on, I just want to be able to grab it out of my pack, put my jacket on. So the whole stuffing it into its own pocket or putting it into a stuff sack became totally worthless to me. Absolutely worthless. I would rather have something that I could just grab out real quick and put on. The other thing is with a lot of the new insulations that they're using, and not a new insulation by any stretch of the imagination, Apex, which is in this jacket here, the Enlightened Equipment jacket, the one that I've been using for years, it's thin enough to where it doesn't really bulk up. You can still pack it down pretty small. And the way I like to do it is if anyone's watched how I pack my gear videos, I kind of pack it around things and fill in the spaces with it. So yeah, my hot take is really not that hot of a take. I think that a couple years ago, maybe it was. Now it seems kind of like common knowledge that the synthetic down jacket or the synthetic insulation jacket is king. It just is. It's a better choice all around simply because I know that even if it gets wet, whether I'm in camp, I'm on the trail, the inside of my pack gets wet, and that jacket is either on me or inside my pack, it's going to still keep me warm. And at the end of the day, having a little bit more safety, a little more warmth, and knowing that my gear is going to perform for me when I'm out on the trail, and it could even do something, as extreme as possibly save my life in a really bad situation where I'm cold and I'm wet, I know that jacket will still keep me warm. So, hot take, down jackets, they suck. They suck. They're cool for style. If you're going to wear one around and go to work and stuff like that, down jacket, all right. On the trail, I think it's a waste of money anytime or anymore. I think that you can get a great synthetic jacket. Most of the time they're cheaper. At least what I found is they're cheaper. So I think synthetic is king. That is hot take number 3, 4, maybe. What else do I have? I think I got one more. And then I'm going to open up the floor and I'm going to do an Ask Me Anything, something I haven't done in 7 years. Typically, I just take whatever questions are given to me. I talk about gear and I talk about stuff like that. I figured today, since it's the last time I'm going to be doing a solo show, that I would do an Ask Me Anything. Anything. There's some things I probably won't answer. Yeah, we'll see. I won't say that. I won't say that yet. We'll see. We'll see how extreme questions get. All right, so my last hot take is something that I have now fallen in love with. Over the years, I used a lot of different backpacks, different manufacturers, different materials, different styles, different sizes, some with hip belts, some without hip belts. And I've went back and forth between two different it seems for a long time, it seemed like to me, it was kind of a throwaway feature. Not a throwaway feature, but it didn't seem as important to me. But over the years, I find with doing different types of hiking, with using different types of setups and doing through hikes or backpacking trips or hiking in the forest or the desert or whatever, I find it more and more important as I continue down my backpacking career, my backpacking journey. Started very much as a backpacker, then went to solely through hiking, and now I've kind of taken this transition. I've went back to just going out and going on backpacking trips and enjoying the miles with my friends. And that is something, I'm going to use my pack for an example. That is an optional, I won't pick this up yet, an optional Y-strap. So something that has completely drove me nuts for years is their pack manufacturers will either make a pack that has a Y strap or that does not have a Y strap. A lot of ultralight packs, kind of in that 30 to 40 liter range, have a single leash, what's called a single leash. So a good example is right here. You guys can see it's just a single leash. This one's got a hook, and then there's a little thing there. So one single leash that goes over the entire pack. For most setups, this is great. I've done a lot of thru hiking with this setup with a single leash pack. However, for me, I get into some of these situations where I need to carry extra stuff, whether it's on a thru hike where I'm going to have to carry extra water or extra food. A lot of times I will carry like a 2-liter knock water bladder, and I'll carry it with me. And there are some times where I'm doing dry camping. Hiking in the desert is a really good example of that. Most of the time, I don't carry a full water bladder. I have it with me, but I don't keep it full. I'll typically carry 2 1-liter bottles on the side, and then I have my 2-liter bladder just for that extra water carry. So say if I'm going to do dry camping for the night, that last water source that I hit, I'll fill it up and I'll take it with me, right? Well, anybody that's ever done it knows that strapping something like a water bladder to the top of a pack with a single leash is an absolute pain. Most of the time, it's barely on there. You just got one leash. You got the water kind of sloshing back and forth, and I've had them fall off. Same thing with bear cans. Whenever I did the PCT in 2018, I used a Z-Packs Arc Blast pack for the Sierra. Now, I did use a smaller bear can, but because of the way the strap was set up on that pack, I only had a single leash, so I couldn't have carried a bear can on top of my pack. Now, disclaimer, I don't like carrying bear cans. Regardless, I will literally go out of my way to hike a trail where I don't have to carry a bear can. But if I have to, having a single leash over the top, anybody that's tried to do it knows it's a pain. Well, the Y strap, if you're going to have to carry extra water, is king. The Y strap, if you're going to have to carry a bear can, is king. That being said, I don't always carry a bear can. I don't always carry a Y strap. Sometimes, most times, I'd say about 90% of the time, I like just having a single leash. I like having something that I can just compress the top of the pack down, roll it down, cinch it over, be good. However, on those occasions where I am, say, hiking through a section and I have to dry camp and I have to carry that water bladder. A good example is about a month ago, my friend Juice over here in the comments, his friend Matt came down from Minnesota to Arizona and we did some hiking. Most nights we camped near water, but there were one night, Juice, maybe 1 or 2 nights where we had to hike a good 5 to 10 miles past our last water source to where we were camping, and I had to carry that extra water bladder. So my hot take is that I'm tired of pack companies giving you one of 2 options, either a single leash or a Y strap. I think what we did, and we're not the first to do this, there's a couple other pack companies out there apparently that have done this, is adding a removable Y strap. This is something I have absolutely fallen in love with personally over the last year and a half. This is something I kind of always wanted. Now, there are some other companies out there that do this that I didn't know about at the time, but some of the packs that I were using, I either had the option to have a Y strap or have a single leash. And it absolutely just drove me nuts. So the beauty of what I did whenever we designed our pack, and yes, this is a shameless plug for my pack, is we basically just added these 2 little tabs. See it? There's a little tab here and a little tab here. And all that allows you to do is take and add an additional Y strap. So what I love about this is whenever I am doing a section like Juice and Matt and I did about a month ago, most of the time I don't need it. So I just take this and I roll it up and I put it down in my pack in my big pocket But at the end of the day, when I'm going to have to do that 10-mile water carry, I simply take this out. I strap it to the top like so. I clip it into place. This is really hard to do live. And then I have an adjustable Y-strap. So it ain't got to be my pack. It can be the other packs that are out there. But going forward, honestly, now using this, see? Now you got a Y-strap. Using this for the past year on different types of hikes, whether it's in the desert, whether it's in, out on a wet trail. If I have to carry extra food, if I have to carry extra water, I love the option of just quickly being able to add a Y-strap for that extra load carry. So my hot take is that every pack company, whether you're going to offer the Y-strap or not, should offer the option of putting a Y-strap onto the pack. It's something, again, that I kind of went back and forth with things, over the years of wanting it but not needing it. So it was one of those things where, like, there were 10% of the time it's something I wanted, but not something that I was willing to have on a backpack, not willing to buy a pack with it, just to use it for 10% of the time. So just having that removable is just like, it's the perfect combination. It doesn't weigh anything. At least ours doesn't. I don't know how other people's ours are, how big they are. But it's somebody's saying that Nashville packs and others have it now. That's excellent. Good. And again, like, shows you how long I've been out of kind of testing new gear and other people's gear for a while. But I think that just every pack should have that. It's amazing. It's funny. Somebody made a comment, said, "Oh, he came to sell us things now." No, not at all. Don't buy my pack at all. And I'd rather talk about my gear and the stuff I design versus some other people's products that I did for free for years. So whether I'm talking about this or whether I'm talking about this, you can chalk that up to how you want. I'd rather talk about the thing that I made versus the thing that somebody else made that I don't benefit off of. So don't be a jerk, Luke. Don't be a jerk. Nobody likes a troll, Luke. Don't do it. That is my last hot take, is that every ultralight pack should at least have those tabs. At least have those tabs. Just the tabs. Just have the tabs. Because there's plenty of companies. There's a couple other companies out there that make I think is SWD or something make one. I think SWD makes one where you can just buy that. So it would just be excellent to see more pack manufacturers make that, just so you can have that option, right? To make something more modular. That's a big thing for me, is having gear that is modular, that I can use in different ways in different scenarios, because that means I have less of it. I have to have less to do more. And that's, at the end of the day, that's like the key to me for backpacking and through hiking. Somebody said, coming in late. Great to see you, Nick. Darwin. Hello, Sergeant Toasty. Great to see you as well. Thanks for joining. Let's see. Somebody said, let the trolls troll. No, it's funner to troll the trolls, I always say. Odd Man in the Sea says, hot take on trolls. Waste of time. Waste of energy, I would say, from their standpoint, not mine. I like pointing them out. So those are my hot takes. I got one more quick hot take, and then I'll get some of your suggestions if you guys want some of my hot takes on stuff. Last hot take, I'm going to say it real quick. I won't show examples of it. I don't get the super loud, like super bright, neon colored hiking tops. I don't get it. I don't get it. Is it just me? Is it me? Is it me? Am I an old man? Have I become an old man in my years of hiking and my years of miles? And am I just an old man that's just like, oh, you damn kids in your loud shirts? I've noticed that there's only a handful of companies that make these super bright like sun shirts, like floral prints and stuff like that. Sometimes when I'm on a trail, everybody's like wearing the exact same shirt, and it literally looks like a cult going down the trail. You know, like a cult, like everybody wears like the same clothing, like a white robe or something like that, or like a dress or some sort of a gown or something. That's what it looks like to me. A bunch of people wearing the exact same shirt freaks me out. So, hot take. I don't really dig the super bright. I don't think there's anything wrong with bright colors. Just when everybody looks the exact same, it creeps me out. Someone said Darwin hates fun. I don't hate fun. I love fun. I'm fun as hell, damn it. I just don't like really ugly shirts. I just think they're ugly. It looks like people are wearing couches. Like, you remember your grandma's couch, like your great-grandmother's couch? The real ugly floral print on the couch. It just looks like a bunch of my great-grandma's couches, like, hiking down the trail. Looks funny to me. Sorry, I can't help it. Somebody said, how is Snuggles? All right, so we're done with the hot takes, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you enjoyed Darwin's hot takes of 2023 from the NB 10,000 turd nugget to the new, I think, overrated headlamp that they came out with, to thinking that cold soaking really does suck. And it took me a long time to realize that, to how awful the idea is to me of using something like an umbrella on a trail like the AT. Just get wet, folks. To the removable Y-strap. Get a removable Y-strap. More with less, I say. More with less. Hopefully you enjoyed the hot take. So someone said, how is Snuggles? Snuggles is great. So my wife, some of you might or might not know, her trail name was Snuggles. Her real name is Jessica, or Jess, as I call her. Nick, Jess. She's doing great. She's doing great. Today being Valentine's Day, I think tonight we're going to get Valentine's Day tacos, because that's what you do on Valentine's Day. You get tacos. Awesome tacos. We're big like classic street taco people in my family, in my household. So we're going to get some Valentine's Day tacos tonight. Should be fantastic. Somebody said hot take on Ultra. I'll give it to you real quick. I don't think it has been tested enough to be proven for every single gear manufacturer to just jump onto that bandwagon out of nowhere. I think that we should put more miles on it. I think that we should test it a little bit more, get it in the environments, really tear it up, and see what happens. I know some people that have had some really great experience with Ultra. I know some people that have had some really bad experience with Ultra. I've seen some Ultra that has delaminated like crazy, just totally peel out from the inside and not have that many miles on it. We decided not to make our packs out of Ultra, just simply for the fact I think it has the potential to be a really great material. I just don't think that they've perfected it yet. Does that make sense? I just don't think they've perfected it yet. So I'm not against it. I'm just not 100% for it yet. Let's see. Metro said neon is on fire. It's just, let's see. Someone said, hell yeah, tacos. Hell yeah, tacos. That's what I say. Raise hell, eat tacos. Let's see. Someone said I look like an Irish rocker. I think I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah, I'll take that as a compliment. Irish rocker? Sure. I'm there. Juice said it's got potential. I think it does too. I think that it's got potential. I just don't think it's 100% there yet. I don't have a big frame of reference on it, so I'm not going to use it. What a great question from Mr. Ken McLeod. I've got to answer this because it's just funny to me. I'll pin the message. It says, thought this guy was retiring this channel. Nope, that's not what I said. What I said was I was going to stop making consistent YouTube videos. So for a good 6 to 7 years, I made at least one video every single Thursday. There for a long time, I made 2 videos. Remember that? I made a Q&A on Tuesday, made a advice video on Thursdays, and then there was even a time where I did 3 videos a week: Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. How many of you have been around that long that remember that? Back last year, early in the year, I decided to call it quits on being a consistent or a constant or a whatever you want to call it, content creator. I didn't have time to sit down and do weekly YouTube videos anymore. However, in that video, if you did watch it and didn't just read the thumbnail, I did say that I would be back from time to time when I felt like I had something to say and I had the time. Right now, I have the time to do live casts. So here I am. So to answer that question, to answer everyone's question, if the algorithm hasn't showed it to you, I don't play the algorithm game anymore, so sorry. I've been doing content for quite a while now, though. I've put out a handful of videos, some quick little short trip videos. I plan on releasing some longer format trip videos, a short film of my hike in Nepal and my bike ride in Great Britain last year. And I've been doing these live casts now for about a month. So yes, I have been putting out content. I am back because I do currently have time to put out some content. So no, not retiring. I just took a very long break and decided to stop doing consistent media. So hope that helps answer that question. Somebody's holding up their hand. Yes, nomad skateboarding. I don't know what that means, so I'm going to pass on that one. Some funny comments in here. Anybody else want to know a hot take? If not, I'm going to open up the floor to a full-on AMA, ask me anything. Someone said, I'm glad you're back from your non-retirement. I'm happy to see you as well. Thanks for coming and hanging out in the chat box. It's weird. I've had so much weird mixed things, like people mad because I decided to stop doing regular content. People mad that I came back. So it's kind of confusing. But if some of you that have been here and have supported me and the channel and my other podcast and some of the other things that I've got going on, you all know that I didn't really go anywhere. I just kind of took my efforts and diverted them towards other things. A lot of people here on YouTube now making some awesome YouTube content. So, I leave that to them to do these constant gear reviews and stuff like that. But it is fun to still come every once in a while and chat with you guys and give you my hot takes and just hang out. So that's what I'm doing. I'm hanging out. So thank you all for hanging out with me, you lovely, lovely people, on this fine Tuesday afternoon, evening for some of you, and Valentine's Day. You're not alone this Valentine's Day because you have me. Isn't that sweet? All right. What else do we have? Yeah, there's a good question. It's not really a hot take, but someone said, do you get more snow living in Flagstaff compared to living in the Midwest? Yeah, way more snow. This year we got 60 plus inches so far. It's snowing right now yet again, and it's not going to end anytime soon for what I understand. From what I gather, Flagstaff is one of the snowiest places to live in the country. I want to say it's in the top 10, if I remember correctly. And at one time it was in the top 5. So for everyone that has no clue what I'm talking about, I do live in Flagstaff, Arizona. And yeah, we got a lot of snow, a whole lot of snow. it's a bit much. Let's see. Oh, Nomad Skateboarding said I was holding up the hand when you ask who has been here since the beginning. Oh, I thought you were raising your hand to ask a question. Thanks for being here since the beginning, my friend. Somebody said record snow in the Sierra. Whew. Sun hoodie updates. I've talked a lot about the sun hoodie. I probably won't go into any more sun hoodie. Sun hoodie coming very soon. Sun hoodie made out of natural fabric. Sun hoodie doesn't come in black. Sun hoodie is a co-brand with another very well-known gear company. Sun hoodie coming ridiculously soon. If you want to be updated on that, go over to, let me plug it again. Hold on. Let me plug it. I can plug it. EvolveSupplyCo.com. Sign up to be updated whenever we drop some information about the sun hoodie. But yes, it is coming very soon. I can tell everybody this. If you're going to Appalachian Trail Days this year, Evolve Supply Co. will have a booth. We will have a booth out there with our packs, sun hoodies, our bike bag, another product, and some camera equipment coming very soon, some camera accessories. So if you want to keep up to date with all that, want to know when we're going to release stuff, go over to our website. We don't spam. We don't send anything except for updates when we release a new product. So go check that out. Stay in the know, or you can follow us over on Instagram. Everyone that's like, he's just plugging stuff. Yes, I am. I plugged a lot of people's stuff for a lot of years on YouTube and did not benefit at all from it. So I'm very proud of what I've created at Evolve Supply Co. So if you're like me and you like cool new gear and you want it developed and designed and made by somebody that has really tested and put things through the paces, well, I'm excited to talk about it. Any other hot takes? Somebody said, where can we buy the sun hoodie? EvolveSupplyCo.com. Go sign up and you'll be notified when it goes on sale. Let's see. Geared Up said cat hair. I got you, buddy. I got some funny updates on the cat hair for you. Total inside joke. Thank you all for being here for it. Outdoor Adventures, Mr. Frozen. Hey, buddy, what's going on? Welcome to this insanity. You missed all my hot takes, man. You missed the hot takes. One of them I think that you would agree with. Removable Y strap, huh? I think he would agree with the removable Y strap. Also, I don't think these are very good, Frozen. I don't think they're good. That's all I'm saying. Don't think they're good. New headlamp, not that great. But you missed out on all that. All right. So, somebody said hot take on alpaca. It's fantastic. I've been using alpaca hoodies for a handful of years now. So, yeah, I think it's great. My hot take on it is I think it's awesome, especially for like a mid layer. Give a little extra warmth. I actually use I use the Oh, Frozen says they both suck as well. Sorry guys, I was reading that comment. I use one of the alpaca sleeping bag liners as well. So anytime I go out and do some like winter snow hiking, I usually use an alpaca sleeping bag liner from App Gear, along with like the beanie that I'm always wearing on trail that I always carry with me on trail. That's 100% alpaca. The hoodies that I always wear, like the green hoodie or the gray hoodie, that's alpaca. So yeah, I love alpaca. Hot take on alpaca. Good stuff. Someone said hot take on black metal. I mean, that is the hot take, is black metal. Someone said, when's the documentary come out? The one on Fiji. The one on Fiji should be premiering in May at Appalachian Trail Days. I'll be releasing more information on that very soon. Now people are just asking silly stuff. You still in Flagstaff? I am. I live in Flagstaff. Any hot takes on Gore-Tex? I think for 90% of applications that people use it in, it's kind of worthless. I don't personally like it in my gear because once it gets wet, it stays wet. It's great if you don't get it wet. I think it's great if you're doing certain things like mountaineering, skiing, stuff like that. But as far as on trail, through hiking, like Gore-Tex lined shoes and stuff, I wouldn't. I think it's a bad idea. So that's my hot take on that. All right, guys. Yeah, Meow Hikes is over here in the chat saying, explain to everyone why sporks are awful. So we talked about this earlier. He's in the other room, actually. He's not manning the controls today. We were talking about what hot takes should we talk about? What gear should we talk about? Yeah, I think we both agreed sporks are pretty worthless. Sporks, not great. Just get a spoon. What are you stabbing with a spork? Sporks are awful. It's not a fork and it's not a spoon. It's not a good fork and it's not a good spoon. It's kind of like essentially a worthless piece of gear. I did have a long handle spork for years though that I lost that I was pretty upset about, but that's why now I use a spoon. I wouldn't buy a spork again. So good point though. Good point. Let's see. Somebody said thoughts on anything Nemo. I've never really used any Nemo gear. I know a lot of people really love those Nemo pads. Again, as I explained early on, if any of you are still here from the beginning, usually when I find something that I really love, it's what I stick with. It's what I use over the years. I have used Thermarest sleeping pads since my beginning of my hiking career. There for a while, I used Big Agnes sleeping pads. I hated them. Comfortable, but they never held air. So I use Thermarest. I've used the X-Lite for years, the classic yellow one, the Uberlite, which is my all-time favorite pad. And yes, I'm still using an Uberlite. Yes, it still works fantastic. Used it on the entire CDT. Never got cold. And I've never popped an Uberlite. I know a lot of people have popped them. I have not. And then the X-Therm, which is the super heavy-duty winter sleeping pad. So as far as Nemo goes, as far as like the Nemo, is it Nemo Tensor? Is it Tensor? The yellow pad that everybody uses? I've never tried it. I've heard great things, but I use what works for me. So, someone said, which is more worthless, spork or chopsticks? Spork. Chopsticks are great. You just got to know how to use them. You got to be a pro at using chopsticks. And they're great. Someone said, have you ridden the Schultz Creek Trail in Flagstaff? I have. All right. Let's move to, man, so many thoughts. Yes, geared up as a freak of nature. Someone said Tensor is good but cold. Yeah, I've heard good things about it. Someone said, just wondering for sizing comparison, what size EE Tour jacket do you wear? I wear a medium. Yeah, medium's pretty good for me. They make them a little bit larger, so I can typically wear one of their medium jackets and then also fit one of their medium rain jackets on top of it. They layer really well together. So yeah, I'm a medium and in light and equipment stuff all day long. All right. That's a lot of hot takes. Whole lot of hot takes. I feel like that should be a song. Yeah. I'm going to now open it up for a AMA and ask me anything. Literally, the floor is open. Do you have a question for me? Is there something that you've wanted to know for years? Is there a fun rumor or a weird rumor from all my years on YouTube and things about sponsorships and how I used to live, or years ago I made like a how I afford my lifestyle, where I kind of like combating some stupid rumors about me being a trust fund kid, all this stuff. So this is an Ask Me Anything. You guys can literally, the floor is open. let's get, someone said hot take, hot takes. That might be we might rename the new video podcast. The Side Trail, that ain't going to do it. Emery, if you're watching, that ain't going to do it, brother. I'm thinking hot takes, or hot take, hot takes. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Let's see. So the floor is open for you folks. Any weird questions? Be respectful. Don't be gross. I will call you out. I'm not shy about calling people out for saying weird stuff and getting everyone to be weird in the comments back towards you. So I like to troll trolls, folks. I like to troll trolls. I'm not gonna lie. I'm only a man, damn it. So be easy. Let's see. Someone said care to. Let's see. What's underneath the hat? Hair. Really messy, awful hair right now. Hair. I've cut it short. I used to have longer hair. I kind of stopped rocking it long. If you go back and watch some of my YouTube videos, look at that. Look at how awful my hat hair is right now. God, it looks terrible. Yeah, there's hair. Here, I'll really freak you guys out. No hat, no glasses. Weird, right? Yeah, it's just hair. There's just hair under there. A little bit of a receding hairline, but not too bad. Baldness runs in my family, so I'm getting pretty lucky so far. I'm pretty jacked about how much hair that I still have. But a bunch of dandruff fell out of there. I think it did. Ew. See? AMA. Let's see. Somebody said peak. Oh, Jonathan. Advertising. Mind discussing your previous and upcoming Vagabond Trails trip? Sure. So back in November, I did a trip to Ecuador with a company called Vagabond Trails. They reached out to me, asked me if I wanted to host a trip, all-inclusive trip. You sign up to 12 people get to come. In November, we went to hike in the Andes, the high Andes, and then we went down into the Amazon to do some rafting. I did some whitewater rafting in the Amazon. Super fun, super different from anything that I had ever done. And then we did some horseback riding around the base of Cotopaxi while it was active. Like you could see smoke coming out of the volcano Cotopaxi. So super cool experience. Got to meet 10 really amazing people. Got to hang out with them for, how long were we there? 8 days, 10 days total with travel and the downtime. Super fun trip. Not 100% what I was expecting. A little bit more structured than what I'm used to, kind of going and fancy free and doing what I want when I want. But we're doing another trip this July to go do the Tour de Mont Blanc. So hiking in the French Alps, the Swiss Alps, German Alps. And there's a link if you want to find out more about that. I think there are 5 spots left. So 5, 6, 7 people have already signed up. There's 5 spots left. If you're interested in coming to hike with me in a different country, hiking from little town to town to town, having this totally cool experience in the Alps, there's a link down below this video in the description box. You can go check that out. But yeah, great company, great time. If it's something you've ever wanted to do, if you've wanted to travel outside of the country and do a trip but didn't want to do it, like when I went to Nepal last year, we just booked tickets, didn't really have an itinerary. We just got there and went with it. If that's something you've always been nervous about doing and you kind of want to travel with other people, it's a really great experience. It's really great because everything's taken care of. It's all inclusive. So if you want to come hike with me this coming July, end of July, to do the Tour de Mont Blanc, one of the most famous hiking routes in the world, there's a link in the description box. You can sign up for that, and I think there are 5 spots left. Somebody said, would you rather drink from a mud puddle or eat from a trash can? Oh, eat from a trash can all day long. I don't have any problem with eating from trash cans. Someone said, do you enjoy the skunky stuff, Darwin? I kind of don't know what that means. I would assume that you're talking about weed. No, I'm not a big weed smoker. In the day, I played in bands. I mean, you do the math. I played in punk rock bands. Um, I was a big time musician, big artist. So you do the math. In the day, yes. Nowadays, no, not really. Not really been my shtick. Even though I live in a legal state, the skunky stuff has never really been my forte. So I have like panic attacks. Can't handle it. Not really my style. Um, let's see. What else do we have? Somebody said, do you have any insight into Dyneema shortages? Didn't know anything about it. Didn't know anything about it. Wouldn't surprise me though. I mean, there's been shortages on like everything else, every other type of material. We've seen that with some of the materials that we work with at Evolve Supply Co. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me that there's been Dyneema shortages at all. But no, I don't have any insight on it. Sorry. We have no plans on using any Dyneema. Let's see. Someone just said, make music? I do make music. I used to own a recording studio, actually. I used to make a lot of music. Someone said producing music, recording music. Yes, all the above. Played in bands, recorded music, produced music. Yeah, I've done a lot with music. And I still play from time to time. I still have a guitar and play. Nothing to share publicly, but personal stuff. You know, I pick the old guitar up and do it every once in a while. Let's see. Somebody asked me about this last time. What do I think about the Nashville Cutaway? I have no opinion of the Nashville Cutaway. I've never used one of their packs. I try not to give any opinion on things that I've never used. So that's why I can give you opinion about these NB 10,000s and say that I don't like them. I don't like to typically talk about things I have no frame of reference on. You'll notice if you've watched my stuff over the years, that's a big thing with me. If I don't have personal experience using something, I don't like to give my opinion about it. I think there's way too much of that in this world. I mean, I have suffered from that a lot. There's a lot of opinion about me and the things I do and my companies and stuff when those people have never met me, don't know anything about me. So I try not to do that with other people and other products that I have had no experience with or frame of reference on. So hopefully that answers that. Someone said, can you make a carbon gas canister? I don't know. That one I don't know. You got me there. Would I ever do another through hike? I don't know. I don't really know. I've hiked over 13,000 miles in the past 7 years. You kind of come to an end with everything. Right now, I'm really enjoying doing smaller trails, getting out on smaller backpacking trips and bikepacking trips, just enjoying time with my friends, with my wife. So, it's just, I don't know. I raced triathlon for 8 years. When I was ready to be done with that, I was done with it. So yeah, I don't know if I would return to through hiking or not. That's a good question. Right now, no. Right now, I'm very much enjoying what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. Let's see. Someone said Darwin goes nuts sounds better to me. Yeah. Someone said mile for mile, where does the AZT stand for you as a through hike? I mean, for me, I think the Arizona Trail is a great through hike. I think it gives you a little bit of everything. It's super diverse. You get desert, you get forest, you get high mountains, you get long dry sections where you have to carry long amounts of water. You get really, I guess there's not really any super wet environment in Arizona. You get to hike through the Grand Canyon, you get to hike through Saguaro National Park. Very diverse, very beautiful. Mile for mile, I think it's one of the best for its size through hikes that you can do to really get a lot of different experiences on. Someone said Darwin, a trust fund kid, they've not been around long. That was early on. So that was when I first started doing stuff. Everybody assumed that I was independently wealthy or something like that. Anybody that's watched my stuff knows that I come from nothing, and for the most part, I still have nothing. Especially if anyone tuned into the last one of these and got all that information. Let's see. What else we got? Someone said Snuggles. Yeah, I talked about my wife a little bit ago. She's doing great. She's currently at work, as am I. And later, we're going to get some Valentine's Day tacos, because that's how we celebrate holidays. We get tacos or Indian food. So tonight, tacos. Yeah, she's doing great. We're actually headed to Spain together. I'm taking her on a trip to Spain in April. We're going to go explore Spain, go over to Portugal, go down to Morocco, and have a great time overseas. Someone said, are you and Snuggles still together? Yes, we have been married for 15 years. My wife and I have been married for 15 years. Yep, still together. A long time ago, she decided to kind of make her way out of my media. However, if you want to hear a recent conversation that we had together, we did an episode of my podcast called the Outdoor Evolution Podcast, where we talked about being a married couple during adventure, both adventuring together, like when we did the AT together in 2015, 2016, and then also being a spouse and supporting somebody that goes off onto their own thing. So all of the thru hikes that I did where she was at home sending me stuff, being my support crew, on the phone, talking me through tough times, stuff like that. And we have a whole conversation about the good sides of it and the downsides of it, some of the dark times that we had over 7 years and our marriage and stuff like that. So if you're interested, go check out the Outdoor Evolution Podcast. An episode is called, I think, Adventuring as Couples. So yeah, check that out. But yep, my wife is doing fantastic, and we have been married for 15 years. If she's watching this, hello, dear. Let's see. Short hair is more ultralight. Yeah, I guess. Just kind of going through some stuff. Someone said buy once, cry once. I agree with that. How often do I shampoo? Lately, a lot. Typically, I would, for years, I'm not a big, I'll go days without showering. Just kind of keep natural, especially because I live here in Arizona, super dry here. So I tried not to take a lot of showers to dry my skin out, but lately I've been showering a lot just to warm up in the morning. It's been so freezing cold. Someone said, if I order a Ranger, would you bring it to trail days? I'll be starting the AT before it ships. No, but maybe reach out to support@evolvesupplyco.com. We'll see what we can do for you. We should have some packs at trail days. We will have packs at trail days this year. So, let's see. So yeah, but reach out, support@evolvesupplyco.com. We'll see what we can do. We will be out there. We will have packs. Hot take on hot weather. I like hot weather. That's my hot take. I don't know how hot that take is, but. Oh, this is a good one. Holy shit. Darwin, I watched a recent, I'm going to pin that. That's a really good one. I want to know where it's at. Is that true? No, you got to be messing with me. Scott Foster said, Darwin, I watched a recent documentary that claimed where'd it go? It claimed you're a multimillionaire who is in the government protection program. Any truth to that claim? If I was, I couldn't tell you. Oh my God, please tell me there's a documentary that says that. That would be awesome. If that's a documentary, please send me an email with the link to that documentary. I would love to watch that. Oh, that's fantastic. I hope that that's out there somewhere. I'll claim that. Yes. If that's what it takes to be a multimillionaire, is all I have to do is go into government protection, sign me up. Sign me up. If any of our audience is into signing up people for government protection, if that's what it takes, if you're offering $1 million for that, you can email me at darwinonthetrail@yahoo.com or support@evolvesupplyco.com or any of the following. Please reach out. That is awesome. Thanks, Scott. Have you ever tried pack rafting? I have not. However, I really want to. It's been on my list pretty high for a while. Someone said, please produce a carbon gas canister. I don't know what that means. I really don't know what that means. What kind of gas canister? Like a small gas canister? Someone said, question, what's your favorite food/dish? I love recreating high-end foods on the trail. I love combining the two things. I have said for years how amazing it would be if somebody would come out with a like dehydrated sog. If you're familiar with Indian curries, there's an Indian curry called sog. It's usually like a creamed spinach. Traditional is like a creamed mustard greens, and then like a meat, like chicken sog or lamb sog. If somebody could figure out a way to make a dehydrated or rehydrated, dehydrated backpacking sog dish, take my money. Take my money, please. I would eat that every single night on trail. So that. Tour de Mount Blanc is great. Yeah. Oh yeah. Someone said German Alps. You mean Italian? Yes. You mean French. I do mean French. Man, that was a while ago. I'm catching up now. What's the biggest goal you achieved for yourself? Over the last year, I would say, is really spending more time on my mental health, spending more time stepping away from things that maybe make me anxious or make me stressed out. That being said, I mean, I run 2 companies. I'm always stressed out. Anybody that's ever been a business owner knows that. But really trying to take care of myself mentally. I've really taken care of myself physically for a long time. At one time I weighed 275 pounds and I lost a lot of weight and became a lot healthier of a person. But mental health game is something that I never really focused a lot on. Over the last year, it's something I've really tried to focus on. It's a big reason why I stepped back from making full-time content on YouTube and posting nonstop on social media, on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. So I've really tried to take care of my mental health game, and I think one of the biggest goals I've achieved for myself, especially over the last year, is kind of sharpening that skill and taking care of myself a little bit more, taking breaks when I need to take breaks. Yeah. So that's a big goal. And I mean, the other one, as I just mentioned, at one time I weighed 275 pounds. I was a really big guy. I was on the verge of possibly being diabetic, having a lot of health problems, and I turned my life around, lost over 100 pounds, and yeah, got super healthy. So that was another big goal and achievement, I'd say, in my life. And then, I mean, as corny as it sounds, spreading joy and knowledge and entertainment to other people and trying to somewhat leave a mark on the world, a positive mark. So yeah, that as well. Whoa, I just passed a bunch of stuff. Sorry, guys, I'm just now catching up. People keep asking about the sun hoodie. I've said it so many times. Someone said, how old are you? I'm 37 years old. 37, I'll be 38 in August. Do I still make music? Yeah, from time to time. I'm just going to kind of scroll down through some of these real quick. Any advice for the AZT this year? Yes, come prepared. Most people come unprepared. They think they're just going to hike through the desert the entire time. That's not true. Do your research. Especially this year, you got a lot of snow, a whole lot of snow. Right out of the gate, you're going to have a snow at the top of Miller Peak in the first 20 miles. You're going to have snow in the Rincons. You're going to have snow going up Micah, Lemon. You're going to have snow when you get up here to Flagstaff because we got 60 plus inches this year. So bring the right gear, do your research, prepare, because a lot of people underestimate the Arizona Trail. Someone said, do I eat edibles? No. How's the hoodie coming? It's going great. What do you think of YouTubers being banned from public lands now? I don't know anything about that. I haven't heard anything about anybody being banned from public lands, so I don't know what you're speaking to. Well, I don't know. Sounds good. Boo, 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 boo. Darwin, a lot of people are properly clean. Oh, someone said a lot of people are always asking how to properly clean down jackets and sleeping bags. Care to touch on that for newer folks who have questions? I actually did a video a few years ago. Odds are if you have a gear question, I did a video on it in the past 7 years. You can find it on my channel. I think it's called Gear Maintenance 101, and it's all about washing down, how to wash a down quilt, how to wash a down jacket. Go check that out. You'll find it on my channel. Andrew said, thanks for answering my question for a second time. Made my Valentine's Day extra special. Thanks for joining me. Speed Racer decided to be a wise ass and say, back for free money? No. If I was searching for money, I wouldn't be on YouTube, my friend. That wouldn't be what I would be doing. This is more of like voluntary hours. This is like this is like doing community service. This is community service, my friend. Again, if I was looking for money, I wouldn't be on here, brother. Or ma'am. Or whoever Speed Racer is. That's a cool name, though. Speed Racer. Super cool guy leaving comments on somebody's video. Cool guy. Let's see. Told you guys. I like screwing with people back. I can't help it. Too much of a wise ass. I can't help it. Oh, somebody already got Speed Racer. Oh, leave Speed Racer alone. He's just trying to go fast. He's just trying to go fast. Or her. She's just trying to go fast. Or they're just trying to go fast. It's 2023, damn it. That's a weird question. Someone said, still driving the creeper van. No, I actually sold my van last November to my good friend, Benny Braden, also known as Plug It In, has my van now. So no longer do I own my van. It wasn't a creeper van. Damn you, Metro. It was a sharp piece of machinery, sir. Someone said, do you plan on doing a bigger backpack size? Yes, we do. We should be releasing some information and should have a sample and a first peek of that at Trail Days. So if you are in the area, in the Damascus, Virginia area at the end of May, check it out. I keep moving the mic, by the way, because my camera keeps focusing on the mic versus my face. So I'm trying to get it to lock onto my face. Rock climbing. Rock climbing's cool. I don't do a lot of it. Let's see. Oh, okay. So I know what they're speaking to now. Looks like Meow Hikes ended up saying the filming ban was in effect before 2001. So I know what you're speaking to. So no one's being banned from public lands from filming. So pre-2021, in order to commercially film on public lands, the government, Park Service, Forest Service, asked to apply for a permit. Now, the permit, as long as it was between 1 and 2 people, 2 cameras, a couple of tripods, free. When I shot through the Great Southwest in 2019, we did some filming in the Grand Canyon. I did have to get a permit for that because it was being used in a commercial setting. They dropped that for a couple years, or I guess for a year, and it with a big impact on public lands, it definitely hurt quite a bit, them doing that. So they've just reinstated something that has existed for a long time. Again, there's a gray area with YouTubers and stuff like that. It's really for commercial use. So I would suggest going to the MPS's website and looking up some of that. You can just type into Google like MPS filming permit if you're talking specifically about national parks, and you should be able to find out more information on that. But I know what you're talking about now. Thanks for tackling that there. Meow. Thoughts on permit required? Yeah, there's that. Andrew said, "Happy Valentine's Day, Darwin and Snuggles." Thank you. Let's see. I thought that you guys were gonna ask me some hardcore questions, some hardcore questions. I say anything, AMA, ask me anything, and you guys want to find out about gear. I get it. Somebody said, "Gotta go get sushi later, Nick." See you, man. Japanese curry is less. Man, I'm really far behind. Really far. Somebody said, "Does a pogo stick have any place on the AT?" I don't know how much impact it would leave, but damn it, I wish it had some sort of place on the AT. Can you imagine pogo sticking an entire long distance trail? I mean, that'd take a lot of guts. A lot of guts. Somebody said thoughts about the sun hoodie thing is so funny. Somebody said thoughts on van life. Van life, fun for a long period of time. However, it definitely runs its course. So it was fun for the time that we did it. But it's also nice to have a flushing toilet. It's nice to not have my water freeze every night. And it's nice to not take a shower at a truck stop. So it's fun if you are completely game for living that lifestyle and you want to do something like save a lot of money for something like a thru hike, like I did for so many years, and live very not frivolously, the opposite of frivolously, very strict and save money. Yeah, it's a great thing. Why Flagstaff? Why not? That's what I say. Because it's a nice place. I like it a lot here. Biggest regret from the PCT? Biggest regret from the PCT? No regrets. None. PCT was great. It was fun. I got what I wanted out of it. I wanted to have a hard hike. I wanted to beat myself up. I wanted to fight snow in the Sierra. I wanted to not use snowshoes. I wanted to do it right around 4 months. Overall, it was great. Had a great time. PCT. Great hike. Pretty high on my list. Any place you visited before that you have no desire to return to? So many places. So many places. Nothing that really comes to mind, though. Florida? Sorry, guys. Sorry to all the Florida residents in the audience. I'm not a big fan of Florida. Let's see. Also, totally an in the know joke if you're sitting in the audience right now. Someone hiked with a leaf blower? Why? Hot take. That's stupid. Why would you hike with a leaf blower? Yikes. Also, was it like a real loud leaf blower? Because if I was trying to sleep and somebody was like firing up a leaf blower, I'd get pretty pissed off. Not gonna lie. Waffles or pancakes? Pancakes all day. I recently had a whole argument about somebody with this. Pancakes are just better. I'll fight anybody that wants to argue waffles are better than pancakes. Pancakes are better. It's a cake that you eat for breakfast. Come on. Come on. How did you lose weight? Determination, hard work, and not wanting to die at an early age. My family has a very, I'm not even being I'm not being smart when I say that. My family has a very bad history of terminal health problems due to obesity, weight. So I tried very hard to combat that and not have to have long-term life issues. And that's where I was at. It was a turning point where I could have went one way and became very unhealthy, diabetes, stuff like that. So I decided to turn my life around when I was young, do it at a good time, because it's a lot harder to do when you get older. So someone said, how hard is it to be a public figure, in quotes? Do you ever wish you didn't do the YouTube thing? Yeah, I mean, there are times. I've talked about this on podcast. I was never trying to be a public figure. This all came as an accident. What you're seeing here is a total accident. I just went with it because it was fun. Yeah, it's hard to be it's hard to be a public figure whenever there are people out in the world that you can't connect with, that you can't meet, and you can't talk to and have a personal relationship, that say awful things about you or assume things about you or create a certain persona or character around who you really are. That's the hard thing about being a public figure. And I mean, for me, for 7 years was on a very small scale. I can't imagine people like professional actors or athletes or musicians that do it on a massive global scale of, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions of people, knowing who they are and basing an opinion about them and stuff. So I would say yes, that is a very hard thing about kind of being in the quote unquote spotlight, the public eye, if you will. So, wish that I didn't do it? No, not really. I mean, it's led to me being able to do some really cool stuff, connect with some amazing people, share information, inspire people. And at the end of the day, that was all worth it. So, let's see. How old is too old to get into hiking and camping? 55, recovering from cancer, surgery, and chemo, needs something to do to keep in shape. I don't think any age is too old to get into hiking. Look up a very awesome man named Nimblewill Nomad. He recently became the oldest man to ever hike the Appalachian Trail. He's a dear friend of mine. Look some of his stuff up. Go find his website. He started getting into long distance hiking. I believe he was in his 60s. And he's put some miles in his later years. So definitely go check him out. He's an excellent inspiration. I don't think that any age is too old to get into something that can bring you joy and bring you health and let you meet new people and make great connections. So, yeah. Let's see. Any new tattoos in your future? Yeah, I got a couple. There's one that's going right here. One that's going right here. One that's here. And one that's here. I'm trying to fill in my arm. Yeah. Best salty trail snack. Jalapeno chips. Jalapeno chips. The kettle ones. Kettle jalapeno chips. Fantastic. Let's see. I'm going to answer a couple more questions. I still didn't really get anything great. Anything super good. Anything super controversial or anything. That's what an AMA is for, guys. You didn't take advantage of it. Shame on you. I'll answer a couple more. Someone said Descendants or Black Flag. I'm a Black Flag guy. I love both of them. They're both excellent. But definitely Black Flag. especially Rollins era Black Flag. Yeah. Yeah. Big Black Flag guy. Let's see. Ooh, somebody said something about Fugazi. Love Fugazi. Someone said, do you have any religious obligations? That's an interesting question. No. I'm very fascinated in everyone's religious beliefs. I respect everyone's religious beliefs, and I think it's amazing. Whatever anybody believes in, as long as it's not like hating other people. If you hate somebody else, I'm not talking to you. If your religious beliefs makes you hate another type of person, no. But if your religious beliefs bring you joy and love and connect you to, your community, I'm all for everyone's religion. But no, not personally. Not a religious person. Never have been. Didn't grow up religious or anything like that. Someone said, do you have any pets or children? Plan on either of these things? I've been married for 15 years. No kids. I have no plans on kids. I had a dog, a black lab named Bowie, that sadly passed away this last August. I would love to have another one. Currently, I'm not in a situation where I can have a dog in the place that my wife and I live. But hopefully, one of these days, I'll have a nice little piece of land, maybe a cabin or something, and then have another black lab. So, yes, I love dogs. I'm a big dog person. Not a big kid person. Let's see. I don't know what that means. Someone said, how dare you judge our questions? I'm judging questions? Maybe it's not me. Yikes. People getting vicious. Don't be mean, folks. Don't be mean. Top 5 favorite YouTube channels. That's a good question. Let's see. Let me go to my, I'll go to my subscription list and I'll tell you. Kevin Smith. Big time Kevin Smith fan. Love his podcast. Love all his stuff. A channel called Polyphonic. They do music theory. They break down albums, songs, stuff like that. Love it. Noble Records. My buddy Dylan at Noble Records owns a really cool record store in North Carolina. Does videos about record collecting and stuff like that. Love Dylan's channel. And I'll go with Adam the Woo, or the Daily Woo, if you will. Old school, been on YouTube forever. Love to watch his videos. Big inspiration for me in the early days. And I'll throw one more on there. God, I don't really watch a whole lot of stuff. And the stuff that I watch has nothing related to hiking or anything. It's mainly all like music stuff. I'll throw, you know what? Because I think he's a fantastic storyteller, I'll throw Casey Neistat on there. Funny enough, I didn't like him for a long time, and then I realized how amazing of a storyteller he is. Love Casey Neistat stuff. If you really want to learn really good storytelling and filmmaking, narrative work, go watch his videos. They're fantastic. Sun hoodie coming soon. Sun hoodie. There's a sun hoodie coming. A sun hoodie is coming. It's coming real soon. A sun hoodie. I feel like I've talked about nothing but the sun hoodie every 5 minutes for the past 2 hours. Sun hoodie. If you want to find out information about the sun hoodie, I cannot stress this enough. Go follow Evolved Supply Co. over on Instagram. Also, go to our website, evolvesupplyco.com. Here, I'll give it to you guys real quick. Wait. Blink. Go sign up for our notifications, and you will know exactly when it's released. I can tell you it's coming out in the next handful of months. So many sun hoodies. I'm glad that you all are excited about sun hoodies. Hopefully, Everybody got the memo on the Sun hoodie. It's coming. It's coming very soon. I promise. I wish I had it to give you now. I wish I could give you a link to it right now to go check it out. I cannot. I can't do it. I'm sorry. It's coming so soon. All right. Yes, polyphonic is great. Love it. All right, guys. I might be all questioned out. Someone said, "Oh no," he said Casey Neistat. I did. Again, I think that anyone that isn't a big fan of his videos does not like storytelling. He's an excellent storyteller. Not big into the vlogging thing. That's not what I watch his videos for. I watch his videos because I think he's a fantastic filmmaker. Excellent storyteller. Great narrative work. Someone said, would you rather lose half a leg or a whole arm? That's a good question. Can't answer it. Yeah, I can't answer it. When will the new ultralight backpack be released? This one? It's released. You can go get it now at evolvesupplyco.com. You see, guys, I don't want to plug the stuff. Everyone's like, oh, he's just here to sell stuff. No, people ask. Yes, it is available right now. There's a link down below in the description. You can find that. I think at this point we're having people come in late. So I've talked at length about Evolve Supply Co. and the pack and sun hoodies and all of that stuff. If you didn't get a chance to check it out, as soon as this live cast is over, this will be available for a rewatch. It'll just be like a regular YouTube video. You can totally cruise through it, get all the information on all the things that I have coming up this year. The new video podcast that we have coming out next week, hopefully, called The Side Trail. Here, let me give you that. Blunk. The Side Trail. Or, as someone suggested, Hot Take, Hot Takes. Great name for a podcast. Stay tuned for which one it'll be. If you want to find out all that information, you can go watch the rebroadcast of this as soon as this is over. Or right now, you could literally scroll back and watch it. Someone said, just join. I'll have to watch the replay. Thanks for joining. Sorry, I've been going at this now for... We're moving in on some time. But all that being said, thank you all. Someone said you weren't here for a long time, and now you are with something to sell. So I will speak to that real quick. Here's my 2 cents on that. Ladies and gentlemen, back whenever I decided to stop making consistent YouTube videos, if you go watch that video, I did say I am currently working on a backpack and a sun hoodie and some film projects. And I will be back in the future to talk about these things. So this is now when I am doing that. True to my word, exactly what I said I would do. That's what I have done. Also, to be fair, ladies and gentlemen, I have talked about, used, and sold a lot of other people's products for a lot of years on this channel without ever taking a sponsorship, without ever getting paid to talk about these companies. So whenever I have developed something, brought something out, and put my mark on the gear industry, having a company that likes gear, you better believe that I'm going to come on here and talk about the thing that I have designed and developed and put my hard work into. So that's my 2 cents on that. So hopefully that explains all that. So again, true to what I said, if you go back and watch that video, if you just looked at the thumbnail and you read I quit, well, then I can see why. However, if you actually watched the video and heard what I said, I told you that I would be doing all this. Someone said, never be ashamed of promoting your products. Oh, I'm not ashamed of it at all. I just want to be very clear about that because that has been quite annoying to hear. Again, especially whenever I have helped sell and develop and produce gear with other companies for years without making a single cent off of it. Never saying that this video was sponsored by somebody. So, you see, I tried to come on here and be so happy and joyous, and you guys got it out of me. That's why it's an Ask Me Anything. Guys, thank you so much. Somebody said, you miss my movies. I've done plenty of movies. I released a short film called The Community over on The Outdoor Revolution. The problem is I try to share a lot of things through social media, through YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. Because I'm not playing the algorithm game, because I'm not giving it what it wants all the time, I'm not making a lot of reels on Instagram and whatever Facebook wants, and I'm not making shorts here on YouTube. It doesn't like to show you guys the stuff that I'm talking about, the things I post in the community tab, the things I post on Instagram. So I've tried to share those things with you guys. Write your congressman, write your social media congressman if you'd like to see more things from me. I've tried. Guys, let's go out on a great note, shall we? Let's go out on an excellent note. For all of you that have stuck around for a while, somebody said cold soaking Baca burgers. I didn't even know they still made Baca burgers. Is it Boca? Is it Baca? Boca burger. It's a Boca burger, isn't it? Gross. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you all so much for sitting here and rambling with me and going over funny topics and hot takes on gear and chatting with me and even being here whenever I tear apart some trolls. I appreciate it. Thank you all so much. I hope you guys have a lovely Valentine's Day, whatever that means to you. Doesn't really mean a whole lot to me, and I've been married for 15 years. Doesn't mean a lot to my wife either, so it's not a one-sided thing. Hopefully you have an awesome Valentine's Day. If you're by yourself, reach out to a friend, reach out to somebody. If you're going out for dinner with your life partner, whoever that might be, or your best friend or something, have a great evening, have a great time. Have an excellent week coming up. Have an excellent Tuesday. Have an excellent weekend. I'll see you guys soon. Like I said, I'll be coming back with that new live series. If you want to stay up to date with any of the stuff that I do post, if you're not getting notified to that, go follow me on Instagram, even though sometimes it doesn't show stuff to people. You can sign up and hit the little bell thingy to sign up for the whatever it's called. Community tab. I post things on the community tab. Go check that out. And I hope you guys have an excellent night. I hope you have an excellent week. I love you guys. Take care of each other. Go hike something, or go ride something, or go sit on your couch and don't do anything. Regardless, take care of yourself mentally, physically. Love you guys. Bye.